reason I'm stopping you is because you don't have any license plates on this car.
Okay.
Any reason for that?
I'm from Dubai. It's my license plate right there.
Okay, but you're not in Dubai.
I'm visiting as a tourist.
Well, no, you're not visiting as a tourist if you brought a car with you.
How it works is we ship the cars, we get a permit, and
you don't have a permit.
What you need is a carnet.
What's that?
A carnet. It's a very rare thing. I know you're confused, but we
No,
fly
I'm
them.
not confused.
I think the biggest thing that I got from this video is that, you know, at the end of the day, one of the things that we talk about the most about the issues in law enforcement in this country, obviously, you know, we have lethal weapons usage and, you know, police basically just pulling their guns out and shooting out of fear. But it's just their lack of training. And I think in this video, that's really what we saw is that, you know, this state trooper really, truly did not know and did not understand that my man's had his Lamborghini on the streets of Oregon legally.
Yeah, the way it works is we get a EPA exemption.
Pardon me?
A EPA exemption. And then a carnet de passage.
Do you have any of that?
Of course, yeah. I'm going to provide everything.
You have something that says you can drive this car on the road?
Yes, sir.
Let's take a look at that.
Of course.
And he was trying to explain to him, he was trying to run him through the process, but he was pretty determined that, no, you're not supposed to have this car. This is, you know, and he could have turned it up a lot more. You know, if it was a black man, I'm sure he would have turned it up a lot more. But at the end of the day, you know, what this really reflects is, again, there's just so many gaps in training across the board, you know, whether it be state troopers or people in localities and municipalities. Oftentimes, these officers simply are just kind of winging it and shooting from the hip.
Well, it's a temporary thing. I'm visiting as a tourist.
I can't hear you.
It's a temporary import.
It's a what?
It's a temporary import. It's not a permanent thing. We fly our cars here, we do our trips, and we fly them back. That's how it works.
Let me see what you have that says you can drive it on the road in Oregon.
You understand in a second.
Pardon me?
You're gonna understand in a second.
I'm pretty sure I know what I'm talking about right now.
And I gotta say this, my mans must really, really love that car because he went through all the trouble. It's not like he just put it on a boat and shipped it over here. He had to go through all different types of government agencies. He had to get documents signed. I'm sure he had to work with his attorney to get all of this done. He had to go through hot water to get that Lamborghini on the streets of the United States. I hope for his sake that he was staying over here for at least a couple of months, at least, and it wasn't just like a weekend thing so we could show it off, because he probably could have just came over here and rented a Lamborghini if he's got money like that. But since my man's went through all of that trouble, clearly he knows what it takes to drive a Lambo on the streets of America, on the streets of Oregon legally. And unfortunately, the state trooper did not know his stuff as well as this guy. And in the end, he had to let him go because he couldn't hold him.
So this is my permit. It's an international federal agreement. So this would be the international driver's license, which they come as a package. There you go. The other part is inside as well.
Look, you...
What is your question, officer? I can answer your question.
Look.
Yes, sir.
Here's your stuff here. You got to get a temporary permit, okay? I have another call I have to go to.
Sir,
please stay pulling out into traffic.
It's a federal law. You don't know the law. What the?
For anybody who's ever been in any type of similar situations like this, it can be very difficult to change a police officer's mind once they think they've caught you doing something, or once they think you're suspicious of something. And again, especially if you're looking a certain way, you're not talking a certain way, you may make them nervous. And then they'll get all amped up, and then they'll be even more sure about what they're pulling you over for or what they're stopping you for. And that just kind of is a thing with human nature. Once people make their minds up, often it's hard to change it, which again goes into the bigger issue with training in law enforcement. And oftentimes people they're just simply not trained to deal with people with mental health issues who are going through different types of crisis. They're not trained to talk people down. They're not trained to talk first and shoot later. They're trained to shoot first, think later, because their lives are always in danger, even though they're the ones who are supposed to be protecting our lives. So again, I think the biggest thing that we got from this is that the lack of training, the lack of proper training in law enforcement across the United States is something that we seriously have to get after and tackle.